You're watching the Zombie Cheerleader School of Horror. Professor Feather! Professor Feather! Professor Feather! Professor Feather! Professor Feather!
Does it look good when I found
it? It's great! And let me see your tassel. Where's your tassel at? Where's your little spinny thing?
Oh, I don't have it today.
Oh, God! I can't play with your tassel. What good are you?
I'm
Thank you. And Tar! Tar! I don't even know why. This is Professor Feather. This is Tar.
He's looking for the good composition.
That's right. And it's the Zombie Cheerleader. And he's a really cool guy.
Look behind you.
Oh, my God! Ah! It's bloody murder! It's the real bloody murder!
I love these guys!
I know! They're great! Everybody! Happy dance! Happy dance! Happy dance!
Hey, it's platonic love.
Put it on the plate and I'll be on it.
Yeah! Fantastic! Trying to buy all this testosterone really scares me, so I'm going now. I know who will bug next.
Zombie Cheerleader.
Come on in, go on in.
I found him! I found Dr. Shock! Look at this!
This happens to be my all-time favorite gal. Why? Her lovely paleness. The coldness of her flesh. And darn it all, she's funny. Go figure.
Funny! Funny, haha! Funny, strange.
We're going to let the viewing audience out there make that decision.
Hey, that's not fair, man.
Hey, we believe in cliffhangers here. Tune in next week to hear...
What?
Exactly.
Bye! This is Professor Griffin, the one, the only!
Thank
Professor
goodness.
Griffin.
Hello there, Professor Griffin.
It's Uncle Roy Higgins! Look!
It's not Higgins.
What is it? I can't see!
It's Hoggins.
Huggins! Huggins! I was gonna say that, but I looked at your pen and I was wrong.
We're peddling
It's a misspell! It's a misspell! It should be a hog! A hog! And I looked at it to double check and it said Hig, and I thought, well, Huggins I guess is wrong. Well, I'm screwed either way.
Did she walk up and pull those off your face?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've learned how to write the hard way.
That's right.
Check this out. You know, I've signed so many autographs over the years, I finally figured out how to prevent writer's cramp. Let me show you how. You go like this. Grab this baby.
You ever sneezed on that?
See?
Ah, your booger's up there.
No, I just dotted my eye. Oh.
There you go.
Oh, thanks.
I want to wipe that off.
Here. Oh, wait a minute. Clean as a whistle.
Yeah. All right, who else can we screw with? Many years ago, humans called scientists developed a nasty little chemical formula that was supposed to kill weeds. Unfortunately, unbeknownst to the scientists, the chemical had one small side effect: reanimation of the dearly departed. After a local caretaker used a sample in a graveyard, the first zombies were created. Then, after an explosion, many more zombies appeared. Soon afterwards, I was bitten, then I too became a zombie, the Zombie Cheerleader. I found a home in an abandoned school. There I found movies about zombies, monsters, and how fleshies try to fight us. I then decided we needed to fight back. Welcome to the Zombie Cheerleaders School of Horror. All right, tonight we have a real documentary about zombies. It's a documentary that shows zombies what they're really like. In fact, it's so early, they don't even call them zombies. They call them ghouls. Zombies, ghouls, whatever you want to call it. We're going to call them zombies for the sake of arguing. This is a really important record about what zombies are all about, and I think the class really needs to address this documentary. I think it's very important that we study this. In fact, Zombette, bring out the tape. Thank you. Here it is. Night of the Living Dead. That's right. This is a really, really, really important documentary. In fact, kind of goes over a lot of, well, zombie issues that they seem to have. We need to address some of the issues that, I don't know about you, but I noticed. One of the really important ones, slow zombies. I don't know how many times I have to tell you, if you're a slow zombie, the fleshy's going to get away. You gotta learn how to run. Run, zombies, run. How many times do I have to tell you to move the legs? You don't shuffle, you don't limp, you don't waddle around. You gotta run. If you want to catch a fleshy, you gotta run after them. You can't just, slide around like this. I can't stress that enough. And we're really gonna go over that tonight in class. Another one is tools. This is such a cool documentary about early zombies that we actually see them pick up rocks and use them and throw and break glass, which is great, but they don't always use the tools when they're supposed to until it's too late. But anyway, if a zombie uses a tool like a rock or, I don't know, a stick and poke a fleshy, scare them away, that really works. Use a tool! Come on, you gotta learn to think. I know you're a zombie and the brain's all dead and stuff like that, but you gotta start using what's left of the brain up there. And I can't stress this enough. Weapons, bad. Weapons are very, very bad. If you see a fleshy and he's pointing like a gun at you, or he has like a stick of dynamite or something, you don't keep walking towards the fleshy. You run away, or you dodge, or you weave, or you do something other than just standing there and with a big bullseye on your head. That's not good. Slow zombies, bad. Zombies running, really good. A zombie using a tool, that's even better. And weapons are bad. There's a gun pointed at you, you gotta at least duck or something. I can't even stress that to you enough. So we're gonna really enjoy this movie, and soon my class will be in here, and I know there's some of you that couldn't make it to my class. In fact, this is not even my regular class. We're kind of on a field trip on another part of the school, because I'm usually down in the dungeons or something where no one else can find us, because it's really important for zombies to hide and not be seen. But we're taking a risk tonight. We're upstairs. We're checking out the bigger classes and stuff like that. So if you really want to enjoy a good show about zombies and where we came from and what we're about, Night of the Living Dead, you'll be really impressed. I'm telling you, there's a lot of things we could learn tonight. So we'll catch you. And we'll be right back after we break. And pay attention. It's really important, guys out there. Don't let the fleshes get to you.
Today ought to make the day the time changes, the first day of summer.
What?
Well, it's 8 o'clock and it's still light.
A lot of good the extra daylight does us. Now, we've still got a 3-hour drive back. We're not going to be home until after midnight.
Well, if it really bugged you, Johnny, you wouldn't do it.
You think I want to blow Sunday on a scene like this? You know, I figure we're either going to have to move Mother out here or move the grave into Pittsburgh.
She can't make a trip like this.
Oh, I don't know that she can't. Is there any of that candy left?
No.
Look at this thing. We still remember. I don't. You know, I don't even remember what the man looks like.
Johnny, it takes you 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes to put the wreath on the grave and 6 hours to drive back and forth. Mother wants to remember, so we trot 200 miles into the country and she stays at home.
Well, we're here, John, all right?
Back on? Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back on the air after an interruption due to technical problem.
There's nothing wrong with the radio. Must have been the station.
Which row is it in?
Well, there's no one around.
Well, it's late. If you'd gotten up earlier.
Oh, look, I already lost an hour's sleep on the time change.
I think you complain just to hear yourself talk. There it is.
I wonder what happened to the one from last year. Each year we spend good money on these things. We come out here and the one from last year's gone.
Well, the flowers die, and the caretaker or somebody takes them away.
Yeah, a little spit and polish. You can clean this up. Sell it next year. Wonder how many times we bought the same one. Hey, come on, Barb. Church was this morning, huh? Hey, I mean praying's for church, huh? Come on.
I haven't seen you in church lately.
Well, there's not much sense in my going to church. Do you remember one time when we were small, we were out here? It was from right over there. I jumped out at you from behind the tree, and Grandpa got all excited, and he shook his fist at me, and he said, "Boy, you'll be damned to hell." Remember that? Right over there. Well, you used to really be scared here.
Johnny.
You're still afraid.
Stop it now. I mean it.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
He'll hear you.
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here.
Johnny.
Don't worry about him. I can handle him. Probably be a lot more of them as soon as they find out about us. The truck is out of gas. This pump out here is locked. Is there a key? We can try to get out of here if we can get some gas. Is there a key? I suppose you've tried this. Do you live here? Jesus. We've got to get out of here. We have to get to where there's some other people. Maybe we better take some food. I'll see if I can find some food.
What's happening?
How do you think it's happening?
What's happening?
Two of them. There are two of them out there. Have you seen any more around here? I can take care of those two.
I don't
I know you're afraid, but we have
I
to...
don't know! I don't know! What's happening?
We're in here now.
Don't look at it.
Get some more lights on in this house. Why don't you see if you can find some wood, some board, something there by the fireplace, something we can nail this place up. Oh, God damn. Look, I know you're afraid. I'm afraid too. But we have to try to board the house up together. Now, I'm going to board up the windows and the doors. Do you understand? We'll be all right here. We'll be all right here until someone comes to rescue us. But we'll have to work together. You'll have to help me. Now, I want you to go in and get some wood so I can board the place up. Do you understand? Okay? Okay? that's wrong. Here, I want you to pick out some nails. Pick out the biggest ones you can find. There, this room looks pretty secure. If we have to, we can run in here and board up the doors. Won't be long before those things will be back pounding their way in here. They're afraid now. They're afraid of fire. I found that out. You know a place back down the road called Beekman's Diner? Anyhow, that's where I found that truck I have out there. There's a radio on the truck. I had jumped in to listen to it when a big gasoline truck came screaming right across the road. But there must have been 10, 15 of those things chasing after it, grabbing and holding on. Now, I didn't see them at first. I could just see that the truck was moving in a funny way. And those things were catching up to it. The truck went right across the road. Slammed on my brakes to keep from hitting it myself. It went right through the guardrail. I guess the driver must have cut off the road into that gas station by Beekman's Diner. It went right through the billboard, ripped over a gas pump, and never stopped moving. By now, it was like a moving bonfire. Didn't know if the truck was going to explode or what. Still hear the man screaming. This thing is just backing away from it. I looked back at the diner to see if there was anyone there who could help me. That was when I noticed that the entire place had been encircled. There wasn't a sign of life left except by now there were no more screams. I realized that I was alone with 50 or 60 of those things, just standing there, staring at me. I started to drive. I just plowed right through them. They didn't move. They didn't run or just stood there, staring at me. Just wanted to crush them. They scattered through the air like bugs.
We were riding in the cemetery, Johnny and me. Johnny. We came to put a wreath on my father's grave. Johnny, and he said, "Can I have some candy, Barbara?" We didn't have any. And, oh, it's hot in here. Hot. And he said, "Oh, it's late. Why did we start so late?" And I said, "Johnny, if you'd gotten up earlier, we wouldn't be late." Johnny asked me if I were afraid. And I said, "I'm not afraid, Johnny." And then this man started walking up the road. He came slowly, and Johnny kept teasing me and saying, "He's coming to get you, Barbara." And I laughed at him and said, "Johnny, stop it." And then Johnny ran away. And I went up to this man, and I was going to apologize.
Why don't you just keep calm?
And I looked up, and I said, "Goody." And he grabbed me. He grabbed me, and he ripped at me. He held me, and he ripped at my clothes.
I think you should just calm down.
Oh, I screamed, "Johnny! Johnny, help me! Oh, help me!" And he wouldn't let me go. He ripped. And then Johnny came and he ran and he fought this man. And I got so afraid. I ran. And Johnny didn't come. We have to wait for Johnny. We better go out and get him. We have to go out and get Johnny. He's out there. Please, don't you hear me? We've got to go out and get him. Please! We have got to go get Johnny! Please help me! Please!
Don't you know what's going on out there? This is no Sunday school picnic.
Don't you
Did you see all that? The first chick we saw in the movie. She's screaming, she's scared, she's falling, she's rolling. She even stands there while the zombie's attacking her brother. Waits for the zombie to come get her. Runs away and falls and trips and falls and screams and moans and hollers and, you know, does what all these silly fleshy chicks do and loses her shoes, and she's running around barefoot and holding her hair and screaming and falling over bushes and trees, and she still gets away. I don't understand. All that time with the falling and the rolling and the bushes and the screaming, and the zombie still can't catch her? I mean, she even gets in a car that can't even start, and it rolls away slowly. I mean, I'll give the first zombie we see credit. He actually uses a rock, and he smashes in the window, and, you know, it's a tool-using zombie, but it's just kind of inappropriate. Oh, hey! It's Principal Scraps here. I thought you said I had zombies, my first zombie students. Where are they? Oh, go get them. I got a first for the zombie school. We actually have pupils. And there they are, my first pupils. Real zombies. You know, not that zombies aren't real or anything, but they're actually I actually have zombies in my class. I'm so thrilled. It's just great. Thank you, Principal Scraps, and he's a real good man, and thank you for bringing my first students in. I am so excited to have real zombies in my class, not just behind on, you know, the big eye TV thing, but in my class as well. So it's important you guys pay attention. Rock. Good. You take a rock, you break the window. You get inside. You get inside, you break the window. It's all good. Falling fleshies. You see the fleshy fall. You gotta go get them, and that means running. If you can't run and she's falling, or, you know, whatever flesh it is, you gotta get them, especially if they're rolling around on the ground. You got the window, you got tools. I can't even tell what else, you know, if you guys are really...
No, get off! No.
Hey, you! Get back over here. So I bet you're not doing your job. You gotta make sure they're sitting there. Now keep them in their place now, come on. Listen, it's really important to catch your fleshy, and if they're rolling on the ground, there's no excuse. You gotta learn how to run. Run, zombies, run. Really important. Let's get back to the show.
National Film...
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed of all developments. At this hour, we repeat, these are the facts as we know them. There is an epidemic of mass murder being committed by a virtual army of unidentified assassins. The murders are taking place in villages, cities, rural homes, and suburbs with no apparent pattern or reason for the slayings. It seems to be a sudden, general explosion of mass homicide. We have some descriptions of the assassins. Eyewitnesses say they are ordinary-looking people. Some say they appear to be in a kind of trance. Others describe them as being... So, at this point, there is no really authentic way for us to say who or what to look for and guard yourself against. Misshapen monsters. Reaction of law enforcement officials is one of complete bewilderment at this hour. So far, we have been unable to determine that any kind of organized investigation is yet underway. Police, sheriff's deputies, and emergency ambulances are literally deluged with calls for help. The scene can best be described as mayhem. Mayors of Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Miami, along with the governors of several eastern and midwestern states, have indicated the National Guard may be mobilized at any moment, but that has not happened as yet. The only advice our reporters have been able to get from official sources is for private citizens to stay in their homes behind locked doors. Do not venture outside for any reason until the nature of this crisis has been determined and until we can advise what course of action to take. Keep listening to radio and TV for any special instructions as this crisis develops further. Thousands of office and factory workers are being urged to stay at their places of employment, not to make any attempt to get to their homes. However, in spite of this urging and warning, streets and highways are packed with frantic people trying to reach their families or apparently to flee just anywhere. We repeat, the safest course of action at this time is simply to stay where you just received word that the president has called a meeting of his cabinet to deal with the sudden epidemic of murder which has seized the eastern third of this nation. The meeting is scheduled to convene within the hour. Members of the presidential cabinet will be joined by officials of the FBI and the joint chiefs behind closed doors. The White House spokesman, in announcing this conference, says there will be an official announcement as soon as possible following that meeting. This is the latest dispatch just received in our news. Latest word also from National Press Services in Washington, D.C. now tells us that the emergency presidential conference, which we've just mentioned, will include high-ranking scientists from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. That's the extent of this latest bulletin. Repeating, members of his cabinet, the FBI, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and scientists from NASA within the hour. All radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country, including the one to which you're listening, have joined their facilities in an emergency network to bring you this news as it develops. We urge you to stay tuned to radio and TV and to stay indoors at all costs. Late reports reaching this newsroom tell of frightened people seeking refuge in churches, schools, and government buildings, demanding shelter and protection from the wholesale murder which apparently is engulfing much of the nation. Law enforcement officials are at a loss to explain or, even at this hour, even to theorize about the reasons for this wave of murder. So far, the advice we're able to give the public is somewhat by Chief T.K. Dunmore of Camden, North Carolina, who's quoted as saying, quote, "Tell the people, for God's sake, to get off the streets. Tell them to go home and lock their doors and windows up tight. We don't know what kind of murder-happy characters we have here." End quote. This is Chief Dunmore of Camden, North Carolina. So far, the only descriptions, the only clues anyone has of the killers come from frightened witnesses of some of the slayings. These eyewitness accounts variously describe the murderers as ordinary-looking people, misshapen monsters, people who look like they're in a trance, and things that look like people but act like animals. Some eyewitnesses tell of seeing victims who look as though they had been torn apart. This whole ghastly story began developing 2 days ago with the report of the slaying of a family of 7 in their Since then, reports of such senseless killings began snowballing in a reign of terror which has hopscotched in an erratic, disconnected manner throughout much of the eastern and midwestern United States. Efforts to keep track of the murder reports by the placing of markers on a map seem to indicate a general spreading from the extreme southeastern United States to the north and west. Our newsmen have been on the telephone talking with officials in other cities and have determined that none of this kind of mass murder has yet been reported west of the Mississippi River, except in the extreme southeastern portion of Texas. Similar killings have been reported around the Houston and Galveston areas, but nothing like
I found a gun and some bullets out there.
It was only late yesterday
Oh, and
when it
these.
first became clear we were facing some kind of national emergency. When first reports began filtering in, newsmen and law enforcement agencies were of the opinion
This place is boarded up pretty solid now.
in nature. However, as these
We ought to be all right here for a while.
dramatically, it was soon apparent that
We have
this
the
was
gun
something
and
more than the
bullets.
usual run of lawlessness.
Food and the
Some
radio.
officials began to suspect an obscure kind of conspiracy.
Sooner or later, someone
Things as
bound to come and get us out.
creatures from outer space. So again, we join with law enforcement agencies, urging you to seek shelter in a building. Lock the doors and windows securely.
Hey, that's us. We're doing all right.
Be cautious of any suspicious strangers. And keep tuned to your radio and television for survival instructions and further details of this continuing story.
Look, I don't know if you're hearing me,
Goes on in the absence of any law.
but I'm going upstairs now.
It's almost as though some critical balance of
If anything should try to break in here, I can hear it from up there. I'll be down to take care of it.
savage killers. We repeat, this radio station.
Everything is all right for now. I'll be back to reinforce the windows and doors later. But you'll be all right for now, okay? Okay.
Civil defense officials in Cumberland have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Consistent reports from witnesses to the effect that people who acted as though they were in a kind of trance were killing and eating their victims prompted authorities to examine the bodies of some of the victims. Medical authorities in Cumberland have concluded that in all cases, the killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered. Repeating this latest bulletin just received moments ago from Cumberland, Maryland, civil defense authorities have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Medical examination of victims' bodies shows conclusively that the killers are eating the flesh of the people they kill. And so this incredible story becomes more ghastly with each report. It's difficult to imagine such a thing actually happening, but these are the reports we have been receiving and passing on to you, reports which have been verified as completely as is possible in this confused situation. It is happening, and it would appear that no one is safe from this wave of mass murder.
Don't shoot. We're from town.
City,
A radio.
Butler County, Pennsylvania. The Butler County Sheriff has verified that reports of murder being partially eaten by their slayers is true. No further details available at this time. However,
How long you guys been down there? I could use some help up here.
That's the cellar. It's the safest place.
You mean you didn't hear the racket we were making up here?
How were we supposed to know what was going on? Could have been those things for all we knew.
That girl was screaming. Sure, you must know what a girl screaming sounds like. Those things don't make any noise. Anybody would know somebody ever needed help.
Look, it's kind of hard to hear what's going on from down there.
We thought we could hear screams, but for all we knew, that could have meant those things were in the house afterward.
And you wouldn't come up and help.
Well, if there were more.
The racket sounded like the place was being ripped apart. How were we supposed to know what was going on?
Now, wait a minute. You just got finished saying you couldn't hear from down there. Now you say it sounded like the place was being ripped apart. It would be nice if you get your story straight, man.
All right, now you tell me. I'm not going to take that kind of a chance when we got a safe place. We luck into a safe place, and you're telling us we got to risk our lives just because somebody might need help, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, why don't we settle this?
Look, mister, we came up. Okay, we're here. Now I suggest we all go back downstairs before any of those things find out we're in here.
They can't get in here.
You got the whole place boarded up?
Yeah, most of it. All but a few spots upstairs. They won't be hard to fix.
You're insane. The cellar's the safest place.
I'm telling you, they can't get in here.
And I'm telling you, those things turned over our car. We were damn lucky to get away at all. Now you tell me those things can't get through this lousy pile of wood?
His wife and kids downstairs. The kid's hurt.
Well, I still think we're better off up here.
We could strengthen everything up, Mr. Cooper.
With all of us working, we can fix this place up in no time. We have everything we need up here.
We can take all that stuff downstairs with us. Man, you're really crazy, you know that? You got 1 million windows up here. All these windows, you're gonna make them strong enough to keep these things out, huh?
I told you those things don't have any strength. I smashed 3 of them and pushed another one out the door.
Did you hear me when I told you they turned over our car?
Oh, hell, any good 5 men can do that.
That's my point. Only there's not going to be 5 or even 10. There's going to be 20, 30, maybe 100 of those things. And as soon as they know we're here, this place is going to be crawling with them.
Well, if there are that many, they'll probably get us wherever we are.
Look, the cellar. The cellar, there's only one door, right? Just one door, that's all we have to protect. Tom and I fixed it so it locks and boards from the inside. But up here, all these windows, why, we never know where they were going to hit us next.
You got a point, Mr. Cooper. But down in the cellar, there's no place to run to. I mean, if they did get in, there'd be no back exit. We'd be done for. We can get out of here if we have to. And we got windows to see what's going on outside. But down there with no windows, if a rescue party did come, we wouldn't even know it.
But the cellar is the strongest place.
The cellar is a death trap.
I don't know, Mr. Cooper. I think he's right. You know how many's out there?
I don't know. I figure maybe 6 or 7.
Look, you two can do whatever you like. I'm going back down to the cellar, and you better decide. Because I'm going to board up that door, and I'm not going to unlock it again no matter what happens.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Cooper.
No, I'm not going to wait. I've made my decision, now you make yours.
Now, wait a minute. Let's think about this. We can make it to the cellar if we have to. And if we do decide to stay down there, we'll need some things from up here. So let's at least consider this a while.
If you box yourself in the cellar and those things get in the house, you've had it. At least up here you have a fighting chance.
Yeah, it looks like about 8 or 10 out there now.
There's more than there were.
There are a lot out back, too.
It's all right.
We gotta fix these boards.
You're crazy. Those things are going to be at every window and door in this place. We've got to get down into the cellar.
Go down in your damn cellar. Get out of here!
I'm taking the girl with me.
You leave her here.
Keep your hands off her. And everything else that's up here, too. Because if I stay up here, I'm fighting for everything up here. And the radio and the food is part of what I'm fighting for. Now, if you're going down the cellar, get.
The man's insane. He's insane. We've got to have food down there. We've got a right.
This is your house.
We've got a right.
You going down there with him?
Well,
Yes or no? This is your last chance. No beating around the bush.
listen, I got a kid down there. She can't possibly, I couldn't bring her up here. She can't possibly take all the racket and those things smashing through the windows.
Well, you're her father. If you're stupid enough to go die in that trap, that's your business. However, I am not stupid enough to follow you. It is tough for the kid that her old man is so stupid. Now, you get the hell down in the cellar. You can be the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
You bastards. You know, I won't open this door again. I mean it.
Mr. Cooper, with your help, we could...
With my help.
Let him go, man. His mind is made up. Just let him go.
Wait a minute. Judy, come on up here, honey.
You're gonna let them get hurt too, huh?
It's all right, honey. Go ahead. If we stick together, man, we can fix it up real good. There's lots of places we can run to up here. Mr. Cooper, we'd all be a lot better off if all three of us were working together.
Hey. Hey, kid. He's wrong, you know. I'm not boxing myself in down there.
We repeat, this radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Well, we're safe now. It's boarded up tight.
What about Tom and Judy?
They want to stay up there and let them. There are two other people upstairs, a man and a girl.
We heard the screaming.
Yeah, but I didn't know who they were, and I wasn't about to take any unnecessary chances.
Of course not, Harry.
Is she all right?
I don't know what it is. She feels warm. Maybe it's shock.
Where'd you get the bandage?
Some laundry in a basket. I tore a sheet.
Let them stay upstairs. Let them. Too many ways those monsters can get in up there. We'll see who's right. We'll see when they come begging me to let them in down here.
That's important, isn't it?
What?
To be right, everybody else to be wrong.
What do you mean by that?
Does anyone up there know why we're being attacked?
Whatever it isn't just happening here. It's some kind of mass murder. It's going on everywhere. The radio said to stay inside.
Radio?
Radio upstairs. I heard a news bulletin.
There's a radio upstairs and you boarded us in down here?
I know what I'm doing.
What did it say?
Nothing. Nothing. They don't know anything yet. There's mass murder everywhere, and people are supposed to look for a safe place to hide.
Take the boards off that door.
We are staying down here, Helen.
Harry, that radio is at least some kind of communication. If the authorities know what's happening, well, they'll send people for us to tell us what to do. How are we going to know what's going on if we lock ourselves in this dungeon? We may not enjoy living together, but dying together isn't going to solve anything. Those people aren't our enemies.
Mr. Cooper! Mr. Cooper, Ben found a television set upstairs.
Let's go up. Tom?
Yeah.
If Judy would come downstairs for a few minutes, Harry and I could come upstairs.
Okay, yeah, right away.
All right. Did you notice something about the first
male fleshy that was in the farmhouse, how he kept going in and out and in and out the door. And he'd, you know, at one point he'd go out and he'd beat up a zombie and make a mess. And then he was going out setting things on fire. And he kept leaving the door open. Well, you know, one zombie kind of did get in, but then he drags him out and beats him up. And all the other zombies are standing around and looking. This is a perfect opportunity for a zombie or two or three or four to get in the house. You see, if you got a fleshy standing at the door and he's walking in and out and in and out, watch. You put a zombie at every single door. If you know the guy's coming in and out, you wait there and you jump on him. This way you get the fleshy, you get inside, score. There's more fleshies inside to get. A little forethought put into this. You just gotta, come on, you gotta think. And if you're hungry, we've got snacks under the bench there for you. I figured, you know, since I've got my first pupils and everything, and you see Principal Scraps over here, he's keeping an eye on you, so I don't want you wandering around this time. We also learned that fire is bad. You know, the fleshy goes out, and he sets a fire, and oh, the zombies are walking away, but again, there's more than one door to this, you know, this house. You go somewhere else and you open a window or you pull some boards out. Just a little thought. In fact, we're going to practice, you know, I gave you some food because I wanted your energy up. I want my zombies to stand. And we're going to practice some zombie aerobics. I mean, you don't have any blood or anything to get flowing, but we're just going to kind of like work the rigor mortis out. You see, Zombette? Do you want to run in place for us, Zombette, to show them what it looks like? Go ahead. Run in place. Or run around. You got the point. You see this? See if you can you move really fast? Kind of move faster, maybe? Because if you do this and you learn how to keep doing this, it's good. Because you can catch the fleshy. That's almost good. Keep going. Let's see you move. Almost. Did you see? There you go. See, Scraps has got the idea. He can scooch around a little bit. Well, just go sit down. That's fine. We're working on it. Well, you can sit down too. I mean, you got the idea, right? Moving fast zombies. Fast zombies are good. Fast zombies are good. If you just move and, well, work the rigor mortis out, then you can move around. I mean, I can't stress that enough. In fact, look at this. See these, the fleshies? They're putting up a TV. They've got lights on. They're sitting around chit-chatting. And you guys are out there just kind of, you know, doing this stuff right here. I mean, look at all the food, the potential food in the farmhouse because no one takes a rock and does anything about it. I mean, this guy was outside, what, 3-4 times? And he's still talking to the other guys. I mean, come on. Post a zombie at the door. Scratch, you're misbehaving now. Move. Work the rigor mortis out. We can do this. Don't let them win. They don't know what they're doing. It's amazing. But anyway, we're going to wrap up, and you know what? The Zombie Cheerleader makes a trip to hell, so our next break, the Zombie Cheerleader goes to Hell, Michigan. And it's cool.
Counted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted. Medical examinations of some of the victims bore out the fact that they had been partially devoured. I think we have some late word just arriving, and I'll interrupt to bring this to you. This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. A widespread investigation of reports from funeral homes, morgues, and hospitals has concluded that the unburied dead are coming back to life and seeking human victims. It's hard for us here to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact. When this emergency first began, radio and television was advising people to stay inside, behind locked doors for safety. Well, that situation has now changed. we're able to report a definite course of action for you. Civil defense machinery has been organized to provide rescue stations with food, shelter, medical treatment, and protection by armed National Guardsmen. Stay tuned to the broadcasting stations in your local area for this list of rescue stations. This list will be repeated throughout our news coverage. Look for the name of the rescue station nearest you and make your way to that location as soon as possible.
So we have that truck. If we can get some gas, we can get out of here.
There's a pump out by the shed.
I know, that's why I pulled in here, but it's locked.
Emergency meeting called this afternoon by the President. Since convening this conference of the Presidential Cabinet, the FBI, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the CIA, has not produced any public information. Why are space experts being consulted about an Earth-bound emergency? So far, all the betting on the answer to that question centers on the recent Explorer satellite shot to Venus. That satellite, you'll recall, started back to Earth, but never got here. That's the space vehicle which orbited Venus and then was purposely destroyed by NASA when scientists discovered it was carrying a mysterious high-level radiation with it. Could that radiation be somehow responsible for the wholesale murders we're now suffering? Newsman Don Quinn in Washington has posed those questions.
It's obvious our best move is to try to get out of here.
How are you going to get over to that pump? Look.
You're coming from a meeting regarding the explosion of the Venus probe, is that right?
Yes, that was the subject of the meeting.
You feel there is a connection between this and the phenomenon?
There's a definite connection. A definite connection.
In other words, you feel that the radiation on the Venus probe is enough to cause these mutations?
There was a very high degree of radiation.
Well, just a minute. I'm not sure that that's certain at all. I don't think that has been
logical explanation that we have at this time.
In other words, it is the military's viewpoint that the radiation is not the cause of the mutation.
I can't speak for the entire military at this time, gentlemen.
This seems to be...
I must disagree with these gentlemen presently until this is irrefutably proved.
Everything is being done that can be done.
We'll have to hurry for our next meeting.
Professor, you feel that there is a definite connection between
them? Definite connection as far as Dr. Keller and myself.
Doctor, please. I thought we decided that is not proved yet.
Was the satellite, when the satellite was exploded?
An unusual amount of radiation, enough to cause mutation under certain circumstances.
Could have happened.
Have a bearing on it.
It does seem to have a bearing.
Will there be a reply for this further?
Later?
Yes.
There will be a reply.
Yes.
Later this afternoon. There will be a report this afternoon.
So perhaps there will be a report,
yes.
a more full report. Will you close the window?
We are doing everything possible to solve the problem.
Some further explanation of this.
We've heard all we need to know. We have to try to get out of here.
He said the rescue stations have doctors and medical supplies. If we could get care in there, we could get help for her.
Romero is one of the world's foremost authorities on space science and technology.
Willard. I saw a sign that said Willard.
Any moment.
It's only about 17 miles from here.
You know this area. You from around here?
Judy and I are both from around here. We were on our way up to the lake to go swimming. And Judy had a radio, and we heard the first reports about this. So we knew the old house was here, and we came in and found the lady upstairs dead. Then these other people came. We went down into the basement and put a bar across the door, and it is pretty strong.
How could we possibly get away from here? We've got a sick child, 2 women, 1 woman out of her head, 3 men, and the place is surrounded with these things.
For NASA. Dr. Grimes, your entire staff, I know, has been working very hard to find some solution to these things that are happening. Do you have any answers at this time?
Yes, we have some answers. But first, let me stress the importance of seeking medical attention for anyone who's been injured in any way. We don't know yet what complications might result from such injuries.
How bad has your kid been hurt?
Good advice, Doctor. Now, how about the basic problem of patients? Well,
Look, you go down there and tell... Judy? Yeah, you tell Judy to come up here and you stay with the kid, all right?
Action taken with regard to the Venus probe. In the cold room at the university, we had a cadaver from which all 4 limbs had been amputated. Sometime early this morning, it opened its eyes and began to move its trunk. It was dead, but it opened its eyes and tried to move.
They want you upstairs. Did she ask for me?
She hasn't done anything.
I don't understand. Baby. It's Mommy.
I heard.
I'll come.
come back down as soon as I find out what they want.
Thank you, Judy.
The body should be disposed of at once, preferably by cremation.
Well, how long after death, then, does the body become reactivated?
It's only a matter of minutes.
Minutes? Well, that doesn't give people time to make any arrangements.
No, you're right. It doesn't give them time to make funeral arrangements. The bodies must be carried to the street and burned. They must be burned immediately. Soak them with gasoline and burn them. The bereaved will have to forego the dubious comforts that a funeral service will give. They're just dead flesh and dangerous.
I see.
Judy, I need you to find some bedspreads or sheets to tear up into small strips, okay? Is there a fruit cellar here?
Yes.
We need some bottles or jars to make Molotov cocktails to hold them off while we try to escape.
Hey, there's a big can of kerosene down there.
I'll see what I can find.
I'll look for the bottles.
There's a big key ring down there. There may be a key to the gas pump on it.
I'll check.
We can toss the cocktails from a window upstairs. Meantime, a couple of us can go out and try to get the gas and come back for the rest of the people.
But that'll leave the door open someplace.
Yeah, that's right. It better be this door. It's closer to the truck. Before we go out, we'll put some supplies behind the cellar door. While we're gone, the rest of you can hold up in there.
I found some fruit jars in the cellar. And there's a key on here that's labeled for the gas pump out back.
I'm not really that used to the truck. I found it abandoned.
I can handle the truck, no sweat.
You're it, then. You and I'll go. We'll put whatever lumber we find behind the cellar door. You can go upstairs and toss the cocktails from a window. Tom, you and I will have to unboard this door. After you toss the cocktails, you hustle back down here and lock this door. It's no good to board it up because we'll have to get back in quickly. After we get the gas and get back into the house, then we'll worry about getting everybody into the truck. Now let's move it.
Place to flee for safety, except to the rescue stations which have been set up. Indications are that before this emergency is over, we will need many, many more such rescue stations.
You always have a smile for me. How can you smile like that all the time? How many do you have done? Come on, honey, we gotta move.
Tom, are you sure about the phone?
The phone is dead out. All you get is a recorded message.
If I could only call the folks. They're going to be so worried about us.
Everything will be all right. As soon as we get to Willard, we'll call them. They might even be there.
I know. Tom? Are you sure we're doing the right thing, Tom?
What, about getting out of here?
Yeah.
Well, the television said that's the right thing to do. We've got to get to a rescue station.
I don't know.
Come on, honey. You're starting to sound like Mr. Cooper now.
But why do you have to go out there?
Look, I know how to handle that truck, and I can handle the pump. Ben doesn't know anything about that stuff.
But we're safe in here.
For how long, honey? We're safe now. But there's going to be more and more of those things.
I know all that.
Hey, listen. Remember when we had the big flood? Remember how difficult it was for us to convince you that it was right to leave? Remember? Remember we had to go to Willard then? This isn't a passing thing, honey. It's not like just a wind passing through. We've got to do something, and fast.
I just don't want you to go out there, that's all.
Hey, Smiley. Where's that big smile for me? Boy, you're sure no use at all, are you? We've got work to do, honey. And you...
We better get her downstairs.
We have to go downstairs now, Barbara.
She's right.
You have to go downstairs now, just for a little while, until we get back. Then we can all leave.
Oh, I'd like to.
Hey, the zombie cheerleader actually went to hell. Well, Hell, Michigan, and I'm not quite sure how I got there in the first place, but I was there, and I met all these crazy people, like this big frog called Son of Froggy, and this vampire guy called Creepy Clyde, and, you know, all these other, there's some fleshy that was spitting fire, and, you know, I didn't really want to eat her because she was kind of dangerous, and, you know, that fire bad thing, but it's really, really kind of surreal in a zombie sense that there is actually a place out there that, you know, monsters can call home, actually, and all the fleshies were, I mean, you kind of wanted to eat them, but I did kind of let them live. They were cool enough, so enjoy my trip to Hell, Michigan. You'll like it.
Whenever you see a hearse go by, you think of the day that you might die. They wrap you in a bloody sheet and bury you down 6 feet deep. The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out, the worms play pinochle on your spout. And what? What's the rest?
Wind's blowing the wrong way, man. Close.
Okay.
The rest of the zombies out.
Now, what's your feelings about being here in hell?
Where's Limbo? I came all the way out here and I have hell, but where's Limbo? Aren't you supposed to go to Limbo before hell or heaven or, you know, whatever? If you don't have any Limbo, I don't know, I think it's a ripoff because, well, you know, it's hell and I can do the limbo. Okay. Can you do it so-so? Kinda?
She's gonna have a clear throat very soon. It's the famous sword to the neck trick.
Sword to where?
A little bit of a magical feat. Yes, we'll do it right today.
I'll take kind of the pointy things near the brain. You understand?
First off, let's see if you can feel this.
Ow! That hurts really bad.
Now, in theory...
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Ah.
What are you doing? Ah! Dude! That's not right. That's so not right.
Let's get a close-up on that.
So what am I supposed to do now with this thing? You know, this could come in handy. I could chase plushies and fall on them.
Okay, now the directions to get this out comes next week.
We know who you are!
Good luck.
Yeah.
You ready upstairs? Yeah. Okay, toss 'em.
Come on! Get in! Hang on! Now, find the current to get out of the truck! Get out of here! Come on, come on!
I take the car.
Drag you out there and beat you those things.
Isn't it 3 o'clock yet? There's supposed to be another broadcast at 3 o'clock.
10 minutes.
Oh, only 10 more minutes? We don't have very long to wait. We can leave. Well, we'd better leave soon. It's 10 minutes to 3.
You know anything about this area at all? I mean, is Willard the nearest town?
I don't know. We were just trying to get to a motel before dark.
You said those things turned your car over. You think we can get it back on its wheels and drive it? Where is it?
Seems like it was pretty far away. Seems like we ran.
Forget it. It's at least a mile.
Johnny has the keys.
You gonna carry that child a mile through that army of things out there?
I can carry the kid. What's wrong with her? How'd she get hurt?
One of those things grabbed her.
Bit her on the arm.
What's wrong?
Who knows what kind of disease those things carry? Is she conscious?
Barely.
She can't walk. She's too weak.
Well, one of us could try to get to the car.
You gonna turn it over by yourself?
You can't start the car. Johnny has the keys.
You have a car? Where? Where is it?
You won't be able to start it.
Yeah, I know. But where is it?
Good Lord.
Being monitored closely by scientists at all the radiation detection stations. At this hour, they report the level of the mysterious radiation continues to increase steadily. So long as this situation remains, government spokesmen warn that dead bodies will continue to be transformed into the flesh-eating ghouls. All persons who die during this crisis, from whatever cause, will come back to life to seek human victims unless their bodies are first disposed of by cremation. Our news cameras have just returned from covering such a search and destroy operation against the ghouls, this one conducted by Sheriff Conan McClellan in Butler County, Pennsylvania. So now let's go to that film report. All law enforcement agencies and the military have been organized to search out and destroy the marauding ghouls. The Survival Command Center at the Pentagon has disclosed that a ghoul can be killed by a shot in the head or a heavy blow to the skull. Officials are quoted as explaining that since the brain of a ghoul has been activated by the radiation, the plan is kill the brain and you kill the ghoul.
Anything from the supply wagon, Gus?
No, we're all right. Hey, Cass, put that thing all the way in the fire. We don't want it getting up again. All right,
Chief McClellan, how's everything going?
Oh, things aren't going too bad. Men are taking it pretty good. You want to get on the other side of the road over there?
Chief, do you think we'll be able to defeat these things?
Well, we killed 19 of them today right in this area. Those last 3 we caught trying to claw their way into an abandoned shed. They must have thought somebody was in there. There wasn't, though. We heard them making all kind of noise. We came over and beat them off, blasted them down. Can I see you here? Yeah, okay.
Chief, if I were surrounded by 6 or 8 of these things, would I stand a chance with them?
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot them in the head. That's a sure way to kill them. If you don't, get yourself a club or a torch. Beat them or burn them. They go up pretty easy.
Well, Chief McClellan, how long do you think it will take you until you get the situation under control?
Well, that's pretty hard to say. We don't know how many of them there are. We know when we find them, we can kill them.
Are they slow-moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
Well, in time, would you say you ought to be able to wrap this up in 24 hours?
Well, we don't really know. We know we'll be into it most of the night, probably into the early morning. We're working our way toward Willard, and we'll team up with the National Guard over there, and then we'll be able to give a more definite view.
Thank you very much, Chief McClellan. This is Bill Cardill, WIC TV 11 News.
Thank you, Bill, for that report. Official spokesmen declined to speculate just how long it may take to kill off all the flesh eaters, so long as the heavy rain...
Is the fuse box in the cellar?
I don't know. It isn't the fuse. The power lines are down. Helen, I have to get that gun.
Haven't you had enough?
Oh, 2 people are dead already on account of that guy. Take a look out that window, Kit.
Alright. You know, the perils of fire, it can be bad. Fire bad, but we actually learned that fire is not so bad. I mean, did you check out the fleshies that actually, like, ran outside and tried to put gas in their truck and, well, they had a small problem, they caught on fire. And the zombies were smart enough to wait around and wait till the fire went out and check it out, you got crispy fleshies. So fire is not so bad. Just don't touch it and wait for it to go out, and just be aware that fire is bad. And remember, talking about bad things, guns are bad. Guns are really bad. You see this? You got the zombie standing right there, and somebody's pointing a gun. You gotta learn to duck, fall over, dodge, weave, I don't know, do something, because if you stand there, you're gonna be a dead zombie. I can't stress that enough. Fire is okay. Guns are bad. Guns are real bad. Anything is bad. Speaking of zombie, they did point out in our little documentary that kill the brain, kill the ghoul. Guess what? They're right. In fact, here's my brain right here. Now I got your attention, don't I? See? This is really important. This is why guns are bad. Avoid the guns. Don't let them shoot this. Because if you lose this, you're going to fall over and start rotting for real, and, you know, maybe a zombie will come eat you. And we actually get the chance to see another tool using zombie. There's that little pint-sized zombie that was downstairs in the basement, and, you know, eventually she went and she used, well, it was not exactly this thing, but she used something like this, and, you know, she got the fleshy and did one of those things, and, you know, tool-using zombies are really, really good. It comes in handy. I mean, check it out. Do you see this brain here? You see that? Tool using is really good for a zombie because you can share and chop it up so it's easier to eat. You see that? See? Isn't it easier than picking up a whole body as opposed to just, you know, it's pint size. You can actually, here, you can actually eat that. It's easy to handle and everything. I mean, come on. Look at that. This is so much better. I mean, come on. I mean, really. Take that over there. Now I'm out of brain. Tool-using zombies are great. We'll talk about more of this later. Let's get back to the documentary and find out what the zombies do.
Hey, Vince, Al, you want to get about 4 or 5 men and a couple dogs? There's a house over here behind those trees. We want to go check it out.
Right.
You stay here, Bill.
Yeah, Chief, we're going to stay with it till we meet up with the National Guard.
Where'd you get the coffee?
One of the volunteers. You're doing all the work. You take it.
Thank you. We should be wrapped up here about 3 or 4 more hours. We'll probably get into Willard then. I guess you can go over there and meet the National Guard. Nick, you and the rest of these men want to come with me?
Well, Bill, I'm going to check in the office, see what's happening.
All right, Steve. Tell them we're going to stay with it, and everything appears to be under control.
Down there by the barn. Okay. Some of these guys can follow the wagon down. I only need a few men to check out the house. Somebody had a cookout here, Vince.
Yeah, sure looks like it, Karl.
Get up here. Nick, Tony, Steve, you want to get out in that field and build me a bonfire? You, drag that out of here and throw it on the fire.
Nothing down here.
All right, go ahead down and give him a hand. Let's go check out the house.
There's something there. I heard a noise.
All right, Vince, hit him in the head, right between the eyes. Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
Directly ahead. Over.
Keep those dogs back off of those things.
Move more quickly.
don't you just feel so bad? It was such a sad ending that Fleshy survived the entire ordeal, went back down in the basement, came back out, and got shot. I guess it's kind of sad, but, bully for us because, he took out a few zombies, so, get what you deserve. But by the time the zombies got it together, they started using rocks and tearing at the farmhouse and ripping at the boards, and they finally got into the farmhouse, and they finally reached all the Fleshies and did exactly what I've been trying to explain the entire evening about tool using and all this other stuff that we've been discussing the entire time about running and using tools, and they get in there, but one crucial problem. Sun comes up, they're all walking around in the field. There they are, Fleshies with weapons, just picking them off like ducks in a barrel, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, we just watched it right here, and, what can I say? It's just, you gotta learn how to run, you gotta learn how to duck. If you don't at least duck, do something. I don't know, waddle around, walk sideways, never walk straight, hide behind a bush. You know what a gun looks like by now. I mean, come on, it's just ridiculous. And Scraps the Zombie, Mr. Principal Scraps here, thank you so much for bringing in my first zombie pupils. And it was an honor, it was a pleasure to actually have students in my class for the first time. So thank you so much, it was really great. And you know what? Mr. Cooper was right. Had the Fleshies actually stayed in the basement, they would have still been alive. I mean, yeah, you had that kid down there, that little pint-sized Fleshie. They had to dealt with him, but, she's little and there were at least 6 of them, right? They would have listened to Mr. Cooper, they'd still be alive. And they wouldn't have been, well, maybe they would have shot them too, because they would have thought it was like a herd of zombies in there. But anyway, thank God Fleshies don't listen to their elders. Till next time, Zombie Cheerleader School of Horror, come back again, I hope so.